I love cooking, or in my case, what I call it is creating, which means that when I put something together, I have no plan whatsoever what I'm going to do. I throw a pot on the stove and I just start emptying the pantry and the refrigerator for anything that looks interesting or unique or exciting. And I just start putting it together. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Now, I also have to tell you this disclaimer. The overwhelming majority of the time, they have been a dumpster fire, which means they end up being treats for the dog, because the dog's the only one that is willing to eat the darn things because of their taste. They're pretty bad. But in those times, there have been a couple, and I mean just a couple over the last 30 years, what I call epic dishes, that I created something, didn't remember how to put it back together, but created something that was unbelievably good with all of the stuff that was just kind of laying around. Here's my point. If you want to do that in life, creating just means pulling anything out, trying to get better or successful in an area, you can. The problem is most of us are going to fail because we run out of energy, because you're going to fail so many times over and over and over. But there's another way to do it. You can use a recipe. Now, I do use a recipe when cooking. I don't like it, but I've learned to use it until I master that recipe. And here's what I mean. I will do something and follow someone else's recipe who's a master at doing cookies or barbecue or whatever it happens to be. I'll follow that until I master it, until I'm comfortable with it. I don't need the recipe anymore. I know exactly what to do. And then I start creating after that. Then I add my own touch, my own feel to it that fits me, trying to create something better or something I like more. But the key in the beginning is follow the recipe. So, do you want to lose weight? There's a recipe for it. Do you want to get into better shape? There's a recipe for it. Do you want to get promoted? There's a recipe. Do you want to be debt-free? There's a recipe. Do you want to become financially free, which is above debt-free? There are recipes for that. The key is find a master chef who has it. They're online, and pick the best recipe you can find and stick with it. I remember when I was losing weight or trying to lose weight. For 30 years, I did the yo-yo diet, which means I would lose weight and gain it back and then gain friends of the pounds that I lost back. And I got heavier. And I did that for 30 years, up and down, trying every diet. Finally, I went to a nutritionist and I stuck to her recipe. I didn't like it. I fought and kicked on it. You can ask her. She hated me. But I finally stuck with it and I lost 50 pounds in a really short period of time. I've never put them back on, because I followed her recipe. She had a successful recipe. It worked over and over and over and over again. I followed it. I was very strict with it. But now I create off of that recipe. I tweak it. I do things with it, and some have been good, some have not been good. But now that I've mastered it, and I know I've mastered it because I never went back. I've never lost or gained the weight back that I had lost. And that is the key. Here's the key to your success. Find a darn recipe, a master chef that put it together for you in life, whether it's a better marriage, making more money, saving more money, getting promoted, losing weight, whatever it happens to be. Find a recipe and stick with it strictly until you have mastered it. Took me 5 years to master it, and then I started creating it. But stay with the recipe. The recipes are free. Find yourself a recipe, and you'll find success. My name is Ed Carcarey, and I'd love to connect with you at edcarcarey.com. Find your passion. You'll find your life.